You're listening to Stories to Create with your host, Cornell Bunting. Author, motivational speaker, and founder of ES Each Episode. Cornell sits down with inspiring voices to uncover the stories that shape who we are and who we're becoming. Get ready to listen, learn, and be inspired. The show starts now.
Okay.
Make sure these are off.
There you go. Yes. Welcome to another episode of Stories to Create podcast right here, Yas Club. I'm your host, Cornell Bunting. Today, we have a special guest on the show, a man with a few different talents that have just really been grabbing the attention of audience here in Southwest Florida and different parts of America and possibly the world. We'll dive into his story here in a quick bit so you guys can get a part of that tale. We are speaking with a gentleman that is a motivator. You know, some would look at him as a mentor. He's new to the pastor, and he's also a singer on the stage in a group and also do his thing single as well. So we're excited to help me welcome Mr. Brent Taylor.
Sir, thank you so much for having me.
This is good,
This
man.
is awesome. I appreciate
man.
it.
Yeah, man. This is beautiful, man. So you're in the space. What we do with our guests, you know, we try to take them on a tale, so we treat them. And so we ask our listeners to tap in while our guests tell them a little bit on, you know, where you were born, where you grew up.
Absolutely. So I have a unique story. Well,
Okay.
everybody has a unique story.
Yeah.
But my biological mother was 13 years old when she had me and had to give me up for adoption. My mom, my adopted mother, was, I say was because she passed away from cancer a little bit ago.
Okay.
But was Russian. My dad is Black Pentecostal.
Come on.
So,
Wow.
and
Okay.
we hail from Canada.
Okay.
So it's
Okay.
like this hodgepodge of crazy. And so I am North American, black and white, all Indian inside me as a person.
Yeah.
So coming from a 13-year-old mother into this amazing family,
Right.
my mom couldn't have kids.
Okay.
And so into that, they said, hey, why don't we start adopting?
Yeah.
But before that, let's do foster care.
Okay.
So in the middle of foster care, they started raising at-risk teens who were physically abused, sexually abused. And I know you do a bunch of that amazing work.
Yes.
That I got to hear a little bit about. But they chose to start a home, and
Okay.
then they actually started fostering their home. So 160 kids over 35 years.
Wow.
And
That's
adopted
amazing.
2.
Yeah.
And so I come from a very amazing background,
Okay.
but also one that was challenged, like 13 years old.
Yeah.
Can't have it, do secret adoption. Back in the day, it wasn't cool. It wasn't a thing to have children. Give him up, hide it, and then go about your life.
Wow.
So God's experience in my life was, again, detailed, like not being able to have parents. Not being able to have children, into parents who were so diverse and racial area. Even faith was different.
Yeah.
One was Black Pentecostal, like Blues Brothers Church, 3-hour service. One was Frozen Chosen. So very like no raise your hands, don't pray out loud. Very different, amazing people.
Wow.
Who were married for 55 years. So that's where we came from. That's
what you're saying right now, the communication had to be amazing among them. Just, you know, for that to even work the way.
So back in the day, again, like you have these parents that mom stays home.
Yeah.
And raises 12 kids at a time, and then you get new kids, you're at 15 plus your own, and dad's working and doing all the things that happen. And so communication wasn't how we have it today, like no texting, like pick up the phone, I got a quarter, you have a quarter dialed in. Like, so you have to have levels of trust, levels of honesty, levels of communication in prayer. Like a lot of knowing my parents were just about prayer and like understanding, coming from different backgrounds, racially, culturally, all of those things to say, hey, we're young people raising other young people.
Right.
How do we love them, and how do we hear God, and how do we hear each other? So watching them have an amazing moment.
So let me ask you, man, because, you know, you're in this diverse home where none of these kids would consider blood.
No, not
siblings or anything. But what was that like, man? Was you guys?
Yeah, because I was born into it. So, my parents did it from 21. They got married at 21, I think, and then 2 years, and then I was born in.
Okay.
So being brought into that, everybody was new.
Right.
And so sometimes we wake up with 3 new brothers.
Right.
And you just, hey. So my parents taught me about understanding, which has gotten me in trouble sometimes because we're just automatically like, hey, you have a brother.
Yeah.
And the moment I call you family is the moment you're family.
Right.
And so the people, knowing the kids, they didn't know that.
Okay.
Because they get ripped out of their home.
Right.
They get taken away. You have a garbage bag and a teddy bear, much today. And so now you're in a place where people are like, I can't beep and believe you took me from my parents. And we didn't do it. We were the home, right?
Yeah.
And so we had to learn how to adjust to those situations. And so my parents always taught us, like, I never realized I was adopted. I didn't realize I wasn't adopted, sorry.
Right.
I was always a person. So I was always in flux. And so the love that my parents gave to me, my sister, who's 4 years younger, but the boys, like, they would go from I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. Yeah. And in a week go, this is my mom and dad. Yeah. This is how we love. And so the embracing of people came past the culture, past the color, past the issues that you had, past the recording or the sheet or binder that you had. And so my parents did an amazing job of teaching you how to be well-rounded, how to love, and how not to judge people from where they came from. Right. Understand where they're going and potential, which has served me for the rest of my life watching them be amazing.
That's amazing, man. And so this all was happening in Canada?
Yes. So Ontario. So Detroit, across the border. Yeah. All the people in Detroit, what's up? So we're across the border. They call us Little Michigan because we are not a part of the rest of Canada. We're like we're our own entity. Wow. Have you been?
Well, yeah. So my friends, they're in Woodbridge up there, and then I have a lot of friends in Toronto. Okay. You know, I did some acting up there, but they couldn't release them because they wouldn't allow me to join the union there because I wasn't a citizen.
In fact, Canada's crazy. Canada's a lot of fun. They're very like come but don't come. Yeah. So I used to live in Mississauga area, Brampton, Mississauga, all the places. So home, man. So, a lot of Jamaican friends up there.
Yeah, a lot of Jamaican, and then I realized how you guys get cold up there too, man.
Thank God for Florida. Thank you so much. Jesus wore sandals, so should I. Like, I'm that guy, right? So, our punishment was go shovel the road. Like, we got to go to school. No, 6, wake up. Like, so, it was cold. We get the 4 seasons. But I love heat. Yeah. Like, I'm not built with insulation. Some people can't have more insulation than others. I was not there.
Yeah, your body's done with frostbite and all that stuff.
Hate.
Oh my goodness.
Hate. I was like, Lord.
So school was one of those, would you call it a challenge? School life, then coming home to the very diverse family?
No, Canada's very diverse in what we do. Yeah. My school life was hard because I was dyslexic, ADD, and had learning disabilities. Oh, okay. And so even when I was growing up, racism was still prevalent. Very prevalent in the place of like, I was the only black kid-ish at schools. Right. Like, I was the only person that they had seen. Racism was a thing. I have marks on my body from teachers still. And being not punished, but like centered out. Yeah. And so with learning disabilities, the stupid. Right. But I wasn't. God's blessed me. Yeah. Where I teach and I grow other students, other people. Right. We go into like C-suite leadership development. Yeah. But nowadays there wasn't, dyslexia was you go to remedial school and you go to this place and you don't know how to read well. Right. So you're illiterate as opposed to cognitively seeing things differently, and I can read upside down and backwards. Amazing. And so in my schools, it was more difficult to go and deal with teachers, right? Because they weren't as accepting as the family I came from. Like, so we had learning disabilities, physically abused, sexually abused, mentally abused, kids that were not on learning level, some kids that were brilliant. Yeah. So we were just taught they're people. Right. At school, you're put into a log of A students, B students, C students, D students, and remedial. Right. And so it was harder for me, but my saving grace was sports. Okay. Like, my saving grace was that.
So, some would say, and, for me that have gone to Canada a few different times, I've never, witnessed the racism stuff.
No, it's not there anymore.
And it's okay. They've kind of got rid of it over there.
It's amazing because here in America, we do hyphenation, like African American, Chinese, American, Jamaican. Like in Canada, you're just Canadian.
You're just Canadian.
Like I am Canadian is our signature.
Right.
Very, very inclusive.
Yeah.
We're not exclusive.
That's beautiful.
So very like a lot of my Trinidadian, Bayesian, Guyanese, like Jamaican, like we just Inuit all the way down to my mom being Russian, Czechoslovakian. My room was full of people.
Yeah.
After a certain age bracket. Like after I would say 5th grade, we started going to schools and there was more kids, and Mississauga wasn't like it is now, like Brampton or it's very, very eclectic. But when I was growing up, it was not that. And so you're talking 35 years ago. So a little bit longer than that. Yeah. So I mean it was a different season. So they've and now they've come into, again, everything is, when my friends go there, like, dude, it's so like they have Carnival downtown in Toronto. They have everything. We celebrate every culture and every distinguishing act, even education. But education is very separate because you go to college or you go to university. It's education is the primo like of everything. Like it's a different level. It's like going to, it's British colony. So it's but it's amazing. Honestly, it's really nice. I prefer being in America. Just because of the things that we're afforded.
That's a beautiful thing, man. Now, so in school, what sports did you take to?
I was kind of eclectic. I went to, so we did a lot. My coach, I played basketball, volleyball, football. Super athletic. My go-to was basketball. So 10th grade, full ride scholarships to schools and universities. And my dad was like, hey, but I drilled into that because that's what you were known for. I didn't sing. I stopped singing in 4th grade because the teacher told me to shut up and never sing again.
Really?
So I just like, and so at that point it was like, you don't sing and have a music career. Like it was like you don't sing and play basketball and have a career.
Right.
Now we have rappers and singers and you do both and you have all of this eclectic, amazing. There it was like, pick one. You either play football and be a quarterback, or you play basketball, or you run track, or you do volleyball. And I was like, well, I just want to be Bo Jackson. Like play it all and do it all. And but that was kind of, we made decisions, which were great. Again, great for isolating your mind, great for understanding the fundamentals, great for being part of a team, great for everything we do tenacity-wise. So my goal was basketball. And then I went to university on a full ride and then canceled it and went and I sang.
Did you?
I got to school and they were like, so I was like, yeah, I'm going to sing. And they were like, my friends were like,
what happened?
Are you gay? Like literally they asked me the question. They were like, because at that point, the only people who were singing were like people in the band. And it was like not an open, it was like, I was like, no, man, I'm going to sing. And they're like, no, like you're going to play a flute? Like they couldn't, basketball versus playing in a band or singing. And I was like, no, God told me to go sing. And they gave me a full ride scholarship for vocals, so I didn't have to pay easy way. So it was fun. It was
still
crazy.
Worked out.
It was amazing. It was like my coach. Everybody sat me down there like, so what's wrong with you? I was like, I'm not scared. Like, I just feel like this is where God wants me to go. So it was amazing.
Let me ask you, because in that time I know Prince and Michael Jackson was huge in that time. Who would you say people would take to more?
I mean, Michael. Because Prince was very like, I'm going to do it my way and I don't care. Michael was like the people person.
He's pleasing the people.
Like when you walk out and people, like recorded? He walked out and people died when they saw him.
That's wild.
Like
That's wild.
You go to China and stand up and people wave and 1 million people flood what you do. And Prince is an amazing musician, right? He does all that, but like there's Michael Jackson. That's just the king is different than the prince. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're the king of pop versus the prince. I would have named myself Prince. You're always coming second. Like it doesn't matter. I love Prince, but he's like two. You get bro, you should have said you call your name the king. Like, yo, bro, like Elvis is the king. Like, you know what I mean? You named yourself number 2. You never graduated. You never graduated. And I love Prince. Like, I think he's the dopest musician. Amazing attitude. Like, awesome. Like, what he did for music and what he's done, what happens, where we are, right? Like, there's no taking away from that. But again, like Michael Jackson from a child, turned the world over.
Yeah.
Like all the fight. Joe Jackson, I don't know if I would have survived that, but
that was serious.
but you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
King of pop, like he just did so much for the world.
He did.
I don't know him, never knew him.
Right.
But I think with fame comes the push of we want to pull you down because we're just people.
Right.
And even in our worlds, like where we're from, where you're from, there's people that don't want to see you succeed.
Right.
Even though you're succeeding.
Yeah, yes.
And I think I'm like, they're two different artists, but like if you're just talking about impact alone,
right.
People singing how many of Michael's songs.
Right. Oh yeah, it's huge. You know, and it's crazy like the way you're saying that, a lot of that. And I've always thought that maybe one day I need to do a research on crabs that are all in the barrel. And
yes, sir.
Because I've always trying to figure out why is the crab that's trying to get out, another crab would pull it back down. Well,
because I think they're trying to get out.
Right. But
like, like, you know what I mean? Like, like people like, you're pulling down. I'm like, no, they're pulling up.
Right.
And then somebody's pulling them up. And I'm like, because I researched it because it's one of the things we talk about. Because people always say, well, crabs in a barrel. And I was like, yeah, but they see that you're up.
Right.
So those crabs are always reaching for something that's up.
Right. So they're trying to get out, but because they got that weight, it doesn't help.
Because if you put somebody in a chair, like this is what we teach when you, like for grid, one of the things that we do for leadership.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, there's a reason I was a lifeguard. They tell you to lay flat on your stomach, put your hand in the water, and then pull someone out or lean in.
Right.
But because you will go under.
Right.
But when people are going up, people automatically want to go up with you. Like we higher education.
Right.
And yeah, there's people that pull you down. But I think, and again, I'm not the expert on crabs. I don't even eat them. This is too much work for me. Y'all get hammers and be like, get this much meat. I love you, but I'm not there. I'm not there. I appreciate you. Yeah. But I feel like they're trying to get out too.
Right.
They're just not patient.
Yeah. I like the way you put that. Because, you know, I don't think I've ever put enough time into looking at the functionality of what that is. But I've seen it and I'm like, you know what? I'm not even going.
I mean, like, I think if you're at the bottom of a hole and the only thing you can see is up, you don't care about what's underneath you.
This is true.
Like,
this is very true.
Even when you're drowning, like, you don't care. People, like, when they're drowning and going under, they're not trying to pull you under.
Right.
They're trying to get on top of you to go above you. And so I feel like the world has fought the wrong battle and named things, especially in my life, like, it's just been a lot of pain and a lot of great things, like the things we get to do and places we get to fly and places we get to impact. Right. But when you're going, those people are just trying to, hey, man, we call it opportunism. Right. And we would see that, I think, in a barrel as a crab going, hey, what do you have? What do you have? What do you have? I need to get out of my hole. Like, I don't even rent this month. How do I get out of this hole? I don't have rent. Can I borrow $2? You don't ask people. Yeah. Nobody's trying to step on the heads. But what I've heard, again, I'll be dumb. Yeah. But I'm like, nobody's ever said, well, crabs just step on other crabs to get to the top. I was like, but the better thing is, like, they are stepping on somebody to get to the top. Right. And I'm like, you only see the person that's going up and say they're pulling down. I think they're trying to pull up. Yeah. I'm like, yo, pull up. Where we at? You can
pull up. I love that. Now, so you kind of ended college with the singing part of it.
Yes.
But when you got out of college, what was the first job that you dive into?
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Every young person carries a story of hope, of struggle, of dreams waiting to rise. But in too many underserved communities, those stories go unheard.
At ease, think everyone has a story. We believe every voice deserves a chance through mentorship, empowering programs and storytelling workshops. We help youth discover their purpose, strengthen their mindset, and build a future they can be proud of.
From classrooms in Jamaica to communities across Southwest Florida,
ES is changing lives,
one story at a time.
But we can't do it alone. Join us, become a mentor, volunteer, next generation of leaders, creators, and change makers.
Visit ahazink.org today, because when you help a young person share their story, you help them change their world.
I got kicked out. Like,
did you?
I did. I got kicked out of school. Not badly. I went to a Christian school, and God was like, we started a church. We started doing nights of worship, and we had like 700 people show up. And I was a Pentecostal kid at a Baptist school, doing things that were not okay to do. Like I was singing about stuff they weren't. Like it was religion back in the day. Wow. So they were like, "Hey, Brent, we appreciate you. You just don't belong here. You just don't belong."
Brent is confusing the people.
Yeah, like it wasn't like super Pentecostals and maybe running around speaking tongues falling out. It was just like at that point I was arguing with my professors about like truth and knowledge.
Right.
And I play by ear, so if they put something in front of me, I would just play it. If I heard you play it, I could play it back to you.
That's beautiful.
And so they call it like you can be a savant or you can be a prodigy child. And so they didn't know how to handle a black kid who was like, I can play it if you play it.
Yeah.
And I can sing because my mom comes from judicial background. So opera, all of that. My dad comes from like Aretha and so I am not the normal.
Right.
Like I come from a very Russian, like my uncles are in the Metropolitan Judicial Opera as judges. They are ARCT. Everybody's taken lessons. So except for me, I'm the only kid out of, I think it's like 100 grandkids.
Yeah.
And I'm the only professional musician. Everybody else took lessons.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So walking into that, I came out of school. My dad was like, "Boy, you're going to get a job.
Yeah.
You're not sitting around the house."
Right.
Like they realized I got removed because they told me I had chapel skips or something and I couldn't write my finals. It wasn't an actual like kick out. I was like, "Hey, you skipped too many classes.
Right.
We're going to take it away. We can't do anything else."
Wow.
Some teachers came to me and said, "Hey, you're just not built for this place."
Yeah.
Because I would learn with them, talk with them, sit down with them. They're like, "You'd have a different calling."
Yeah.
So I came home. My dad take me to a place like where we are now, where you go to the job resource place.
Right.
He's like, "Find a job. I'm going to drop you off here every morning."
Yeah.
I searched music pastors on a computer, called the people in Texas. The next weekend I was in Texas and I stayed there for 2 years.
Wow.
Like I was just a doer. I was like, my dad's like, "Where are you?" I'm like, "Yeah, you got to drive me. I'm flying to Texas." He's like, "I told you to get a job." I was like, "I did."
Yeah.
Like 65 grand, a house and a car. He's like,
"Oh yeah.
No, you got to start lower." I was like, "Ain't nobody starting lower. I'm not built for this low nonsense." Like I was like, somebody small is not my small. So
you was going big right off the rip.
Because I was a kid that was a mindset with business.
Right.
So my dad was like, hey, can you mow the lawn? I'll give you $10, but you got to stop watching television right now.
Okay.
And I was like, all right, bet. And my dad would hear the lawnmower outside.
Yeah.
And the TV's still going on. My dad would come in and be like, "What in the world?" I was like, "Well, I've told him I'd give him $5.
Come on. Come on. There you go.
I watched my TV show. But he's like, "Well, what happens?" I was like, "Well, I'll go to cleanup."
Yeah.
But I'm going to pay for the labor while I watch my television show.
Yeah.
And I was just like, so my dad was just,
businessman,
like, "Bro,
finest.
this makes sense. It just doesn't make sense for you. Like, you are definitely adopted. We love you, but there's something else." It was amazing to be able to go. So my first job big time job was like, hey, go manage people, go to Texas.
Yeah.
I'd already dealt with diversity. So going to like Texas was Plano, Mesquite.
Okay.
It was very like, again, we're talking 1990s.
Okay.
So it was my first job.
Wow.
Like a lot of crazy, a lot of like learning, a lot of green. I was a child. But my parents dropped me off. And before I sang, I was hired. The guy was like, "We just love you."
Yeah. That's awesome.
And so we stayed, got an apartment, had a car, rolled. Like at 20 something, I was like making 65 grand a year.
It's amazing.
So it's nuts.
So you were your mom or your dad? Who was the cook in the family?
Well, there's so many stories, man. Bro, there's so many stories. Whew. Mom, I love you, but no. So the story, my mom tells the story, so it's great.
Yeah.
My mom was Russian, so she knew how to bake.
Okay.
So when she started making food for my dad for the first 2 years of their marriage, my dad was like, bro. My mom was like, it was terrible.
Oh man.
She would make it, burn it, make it harder than life because she didn't know how to cook, but she would bake a pie or bake like amazing desserts. But my dad's not a dessert guy.
Oh man.
So often my dad would she would make stuff and we're like, what is this collaboration?
Yeah.
Like she'd like, it's a casserole. I was like, so I'm very picky.
Okay.
So my dad and my mom, as she grew, became an amazing cook. Okay. But my dad was also the oldest brother of 10 kids. Oh, okay. So he grew up cooking, building, like everything, scalloped potatoes, mashed potatoes, meat, all kinds of stuff. So two very different eclectic people. Yeah. But my mom later, like spare ribs and stuff, my mom became an amazing cook, that's amazing. Awesome. So I had to learn. Yeah.
So you learned how to cook early?
I did. If you wanted to eat sometimes and you didn't like what they had,
you had to go
either fall asleep at the table or figure it out. Figure it out. You got to figure this out, my guy. Like, ain't nobody worried about you. We got 10 other kids, 15 other kids. Like, if you don't like it, here's some Cheerios. It was. Wow. But it was amazing. Amazing. 15 people around the table. Yeah. Just hot dogs and whatever else.
Oh man. So you decided Texas. Yes, you're only doing 2 years.
Yeah.
What was the next move?
I was on the road touring. Okay. So I started touring at 17.
Okay.
I did small stints at churches, but I would be more of a consultant. So if you had a 4,000 member church or something like that, we're coming in and fixing the problems and then staying. And so I love being on the road. Right. So that means band, employees, touring, writing our own music, developing our own structure, running business at a level, and then being at different churches. Okay. But the churches I would go to wanted a different style than they were normally used to. Right. So you're always running into great people, but challenges. It's like going to a business and being a CEO. Yeah. And you're now shifting the Titanic. Right. And so you're doing it with volunteers. Right. And nobody's paid, so you can't hey. Yeah. When I'm paying you, no matter what you want. When you're volunteering, it's like, yo, is he okay? Yeah. And so I did a lot of those jobs, but the main thing was touring and running business and consulting. Okay. So a lot of the business was look, I don't want to work for anybody. Right. I love people, so I have to work for people. Right. But also my mom and dad started a foster care company with my dad with little education. My dad owned a business, owned a motel at 21. Wow. And so when he was 17, there was going back to racism, my dad went to a black school in Canada, black only and white only school, black and white fountains. Wow. So 9:00, my dad couldn't be on the street. It was a law that said that black people can't be on the street at 9:00. And so they bought hotels and did things that my dad was the first black business person in the area, plus. So for me, even being adopted into, it was just no, man, we do this. We'll figure it out. Right. If you have a business, if you need leadership, basketball, all the sports. So you watch this amalgamation of your life come together and go, do I really want to work for these people that tell me to be here from 9 to 5? Right. Or do this? I don't really understand that. Right. So my dad was also hey, get a job. Yeah. And I was like, how much do I make? Yeah. He's like, $7.25 an hour. Ooh. I was like, but I sell CDs. Yeah. And they're $15. And they cost me $2 to make. Right. So if I go work on a weekend and I sell 10 CDs, every time I sing, I'm working 30 hours in a weekend, only singing for an hour a night. Why would I go? My dad was like, he didn't really understand. I was like, I'm working an hourly wage, making double. Right. And I'm going to go sing. Yeah. We're just going to go sing. We're going to make this work.
Listen, Dad, I'm going to make it make sense.
And then he'd be like, where'd you get the money from? I was like, I sang. Yeah. And they would pay me to come sing, and then I would sell CDs and t-shirts.
That's beautiful.
So now I'm like, oh, I have a business. Now I have an apparel business. I have a manufacturing business. Right. And I'm getting paid $500 to sing on a weekend.
That's amazing.
So you're making $1,500. So that's where my job went to, entertainment is a value. Right. I'm not singing in bars. Right. I'm not around anybody who's throwing fights or fists or people. I'm singing in a Christian environment. Yeah. And we're helping people be better. Right. Yeah, we ain't. No.
you ain't got to worry about them not paying you. They definitely gonna pay you.
No, my dad saw the first check. He's like, $2,000. He's like, for a weekend?
Yeah.
And my dad was not making that much money, I don't think, at that time.
Yeah.
Just because of other things.
Right.
But he's like, all right, let's like keep do what you do.
Yeah.
So that's where I think the job went into, and I listened to other people tell me to get a job.
Right.
Because, well, how are you gonna ever get married? And now we have this whole entrepreneur world. I'm like, man, I was doing that at 16. Like nobody cared. So that's where the jobs went. Wow. So I've worked for myself since I was 17 and took on other things to supplement income or just to be a part, or you like the girl, so the girl's like, you need a 9 to 5, so you go get a 9 to 5. And she's not here, so now you're like, oh. So it's been, I keep saying the word amazing, but man, I'm just so blessed to be able to like help other people find their worlds by the challenges and the overcoming that I got to go through.
Right. Now, with all the, like, in that time doing the touring and stuff, at what point did you discover Florida?
I hated being in this place, like, when I first got here.
Okay.
So I was in Charlotte,
where
our church is about 7,000 people, 5 campuses.
Yeah.
And the woman at the time that I was dating was like, hey, I want to go do this. And I was like, well, move here.
Right.
Bring your family. Florida. Yeah. I was like, so her mom, her dad, everybody.
Yeah.
No, sorry, North Carolina. And she's like, no, I want to go to Bonita Springs.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, what is Bonita Springs?
Yeah.
So I flew back and forth for 6 months.
Okay.
And we planted a church. We helped people grow. I started a business and consulting. And then I flew back and forth every week just to help plant a church. We went from 0 to 300 in like 3 months.
Come on.
And then they moved me here.
Yeah.
And then they were like, hey, by the way, season's over. I was like, what is season? Like nobody told me. Nobody told me 300 million people leave Florida. So I was like, what is season? They're like, oh, all the snowboarders go home. I was like, oh. So I moved here and then I didn't have a job.
Right.
So God brought me here for impact. And then he's like, okay, no job. So I went back out on tour.
Right.
And been here ever since. I've been here for 13, 14 years now.
Amazing.
So just because I feel like this place needs to be impacted business-wise, mentally. There's a lot of young people.
Yeah.
The foster care system, I wear an advocate bracelet.
Okay.
That there's like thousands and thousands of young people.
Yeah.
That are overlooked because of the medical facilities, because of what we do, because of those things.
Mm-hmm.
And so, man, just much like you, I'm just so grateful for what I've heard about what you do.
Definitely, man.
Here and overseas.
Definitely.
And so the touring part allows me to have a voice.
That's beautiful.
The business part of what I do, which is like mentoring, high-end consulting, and then we do things for like young people.
Right.
And so just going into schools, positive peer pressure speaking, and understanding who they are.
Yeah.
I think they have been forgotten, because when I moved here, there was no school in Bonita Springs.
Right.
There was it was all older, 55 and up community.
Mm-hmm.
The Hispanic community had a place where we go serve, but none of the people wanted those people to come to church.
Wow.
120 kids in daycare, and everybody's over 65 at your church.
Yeah.
And you run 3,000.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, how do we navigate this?
Mm-hmm.
And so when we got there was 3 kids in youth group, and I think 2 more came, and then I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
And we are like, hey, we went for 55 kids in a month.
Right.
And now these kids are being impacted. And then it went to season, and we're like, what do we do now?
Right.
So learning where we're at now is awesome. It's really good to be able to see places like this and what you're doing, and social media structures.
Yeah, man. I got to tell you, just from listening to you, and I know my listeners are going to be like, you should invite them to the Christmas of Hope event. So, because one of the things we do, every year we do a different parish.
Okay.
And we help anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500 families. And we have doctors and nurses that come in. So while they're checking on the mental health of those families, we're entertaining the kids, and we're giving the kids a new toy.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So this year we're doing St. Mary. So we definitely got to look at what that's going to look like.
I would love to be a part if I can be.
Yeah, man. That would be amazing, man. So, so with the way you were moving, and then just kind of seeing this is what your purpose looked like, when was the first time you sat down with a group of youths or individuals that needed that type of, coaching type of sound?
17.
Wow.
Like I again, what I came from. So
right.
I was one of the top, and it sounds arrogant, but I want to be arrogant. Like I just learned from like 30 years of experience, 100 kids like in and out, plus everybody else's kids.
Right.
And so I would go into schools and sit down with like, hey, we have a problem child who's off the charts.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, what does this look like? So we're going into schools at that point. We're going into youth groups at that point. We're going in to have conversations. My home was the training, the breeding ground for helping problematic situations. Like people aren't fighting in like it's a world that's different.
Right.
Yet in our home, like we've never had, watching my parents, like nobody ever stole from my parents.
Right.
Nobody ever tried to kill anybody. Like now we're talking about kids that moved into our house who
we're coming from everywhere.
Arson their parents' house.
Yeah.
Like threatened to kill their parents, and then they're at our house, and my mom's like, "Y'all go to bed. We love you." I'm like, "You know what this kid did?"
Yeah.
They're like, nobody care.
Right.
Like really, like because you're not the focal point. So going back to your question, I was always put in places to have a voice.
Right.
And also being adopted, I was also talking to kids from a point of adoption, and even adult adoption at this point, where it's like, hey, how do we understand collective development? How do we understand social development? How do we understand you and your problems?
Right.
And so sometimes they'll do peer-to-peer pressure where you send a young person in, like 21 Jump Street, basically where they send this person in and they amalgamate, and now all of a sudden they lead out.
Right.
Being a star basketball player, being like a volleyball player, being the things that I was, also gave license.
Right.
And then sitting down and sitting in places where I started doing it as a job was like, I became a music pastor at 21, so I'm leading. Yeah. And now I'm talking, and now I'm going into business. And my dad was part of Primerica, which was A.L. Williams.
Right.
And so I had a lot of other things and business leaders. A gentleman named Miles Monroe mentored me for 2 years when I lived in Bahamas. Amazing. Like just... And so God was setting up, and I think he sets up kings and princes. Yeah. And not that anybody's a level, but you're called to pour in.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so much like yourself, like kings are not like, hey, I put on a crown. It's you rule territory.
Oh, yeah.
And you understand it's not about just the money that comes with it, but also about the territory that you're supposed to rule.
Yeah.
And so when I started ruling territory, it wasn't because somebody handed it to me, it's because there was a void.
Yeah.
And the void was like, oh, I have to do this. Like, I'm built for this.
Yes, amazing.
And the confidence doesn't come through people, because other people are like, you're trying to take over. I'm like, I don't want it. You take over.
Yeah.
Like, hey, bro, everybody's drowning.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody save somebody.
Somebody got to save. Yeah. You know, with the paradigm shift we're in right now, and I think a lot of people still a little confused on what a lot of that look like. And they're like, well, we thought peer pressure would have gone away. Oh. Why you think peer pressure is still around to this day?
Because God still wants to make diamonds.
Oh, I like that answer.
Because I don't understand why people think that, because everything compacts. You don't have a mountain if you don't have compact.
This is true.
And you don't have people, gathering, and people want to attach.
Right.
So peer pressure they're only usually talking about negative peer pressure. Right. But I'm like, negativity comes from environment and cultivation. Mm-hmm. And so we come from a place called Leamington, Ontario, which is all agriculture. Right. So we weed and we do all these things, but pressure builds everything. Yes. And so peer pressure is always, it has to be there.
It has to, yes.
The problem is that our negative sense, even me, depression is real. Mm-hmm. Being overwhelmed is real. Right. Wanting what somebody else has is real. Right. And as we talked about before we did this, being a crab in a barrel is real. So I'm going to jump back to that for a second. I think it's people are trying to get out. Yeah. Yeah. And there are negative people, but there's more people today when I look at our client roster and I look at what we want to do. And we have this new thing called GRID, which is grow, resource, impact, and deploy, where we help you grow, where we resource you and we impact you and we deploy you. Amazing. But the pressure comes from people because they don't know how to respond. Right. They think, again, Christian TMZ, TMZ, anger, bother, upset. You're always pressured. Right. But what we haven't taught people to do is pressurize. Right. And I'm like, when I'm in a plane, every time you fly, every time I fly, they're like, hey, there's a ding, there's a sound, the cabin is pressurizing. Right. They help because if it goes to a certain level,
Yes.
We are not giving those people the ability to not be crushed like Coke cans.
Right.
And diamonds, like when I go back to that, diamonds are pressured.
Yes.
And they produce diamonds.
Mm-hmm.
And we produce Coke cans.
Yeah.
Like we want to drink everything that's inside of a person because it's good for us.
Right.
And then leave them empty.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. I want to pour into you, and then I want to seal you, and then I want to send you.
Yeah.
Like seal you, send you. So for us, we see it. We see all these people like, Brent, why do you have this? And why do you have this? And why do you do this? And how much money you have? And I wish I had your money. I'm like, you don't even know if I'm broke or not. I don't tell you. Like I may shop at Amazon and I may shop at what's that place? Shein. But like I pressurize different.
Right.
So when I was homeless, living in my car, nobody knew.
Right.
They're like, oh man, you're on top of the world. I'm like, I am.
Yeah.
I'm broke. I'm living in a 2000 whatever Honda Passport.
Right.
That sounds like it's a Harley.
Yeah.
But when I show up, I knew where I was going.
Yeah.
And so the pressure was still there.
Right.
I was just taught, hey, you have to live past the pressure. And so I think positive peer pressure and negative peer pressure, we only will focus on the negative pressure.
Right.
And I think that's always going to be there because people are negative, because people are hurt, because people have depressed, because people have been abused because of those things.
Right.
But my job, and I know you're probably doing a better job than me. You are, man. Like, because I deal with a lot of people, and you do too, but it's that process that is, I think, you leaning into these kids. And I do, but you're like, you just told me like 1,400 kids. I'm like, that's the future.
Yeah.
When we can isolate those people.
Right.
And you didn't ask me this, but I think people need to give.
Yes.
Because you're not giving to me, you're giving to legacy. And so if I can add positive peer pressure from this level, when it gets to this level, now we're at a whole different outcome.
Oh, definitely.
And I don't even know if I'm answering the question, but I think it's always going to be there because we want people to do better. Yeah. Can I add one more thing?
Yeah, definitely.
If you look at a stadium, the stadium is built to bring pressure.
Right.
Like anything is like, it's around you and there's pressure.
Right.
Like the pressure of defense is different than the pressure of offense.
Yep.
And so when we try to run by ourselves, we will always fall the peer pressure. Yeah. Because the negative peer pressure will have a better defensive line. Right. But if we have an amazing line and we have a quarterback, like you quarterbacking kids, like you quarterbacking the moment, like you building other people, and you throw the ball to the right person, we win. Right. The pressure didn't change.
No, it did not.
Just our route.
Right. It just you've executed the route well.
And so whether that is soccer, whether it's football, whether it's baseball, like we're not an individual sport. Yeah. And so we keep individualizing people. Yeah. And then we wonder why they broke.
I think you'd be a perfect person, for this question too, because I was in a conversation the other day with some brothers and I was talking to them about be mindful of the interceptor, the person that's going to come and intercept. Like there's always some interception that's going to happen to keep you from getting to where you are, but it comes in so many different ways. Why is it so challenging for a lot of individuals, even individuals that have moved into that space where they have a mature mindset now, still can't see those interceptions when they happen?
From my perspective, which is not right yet. I think it's right, but not everybody will think it's right. Yeah. But back to team. Yeah. Like, let's look at people, right? Like football. And I'm not a big football player. Right. But I understand the game. Yeah. And there's a quarterback who sees it at ground level. Right. There's a coach that at least sees from a sideline level. Yeah. Yep. And there's people in the box. And they have headsets and they're all communicating.
Calling the plays,
And before that, they've done the fundamentals. Yes. And the fundamentals are, if my line doesn't block, the quarterback can't throw the ball right.
This is true.
And if it's 1-to-1, man-to-man, then I'm never going to win because the quarterback can't throw to himself and the person can't throw to himself and so-and-so can't throw to themselves. Right. And so in any culture, the team that wins is always the team. Mm-hmm. And people are like, I got here by myself. I'm like, there's no way.
No way. It won't happen.
So I can't see my blind spots. Yeah. That's why I have mirrors on my car.
Right.
And so if you and I are in business, I'm not afraid of you. Right. So I think
you shouldn't be.
No. And I'm like, I think people go, oh, do I trust him? I was like, I trust someone so far. Yeah. And that's not negative. Right. Like I can only throw so far.
Well, yeah.
So I can only trust that I can throw as far.
Right.
And you can only catch in this area of life. So
right.
my job is to understand, I think, in the process of not being intercepted of
right.
what I can see, what
right.
so-and-so can see,
right.
and the things that we have together.
Right.
And when I start individualizing,
yes.
I'm always blindsided.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
When I see horses,
yeah.
they have these blinders.
Right.
And my job is, as a horse, is not to be focused, but
right.
the person with the reins
yes.
steers me out of trouble.
Right.
But if I'm not listening to the person that steers, then I'm always intercepted.
You're going to get intercepted.
And I will, not arrogantly, I'm decently intelligent. Like,
yeah.
No, that's not true. I believe God's given me a pretty big IQ and pretty big back end. And, and you're like volubly intelligent. I'm like, there's so much stuff that you do.
Right, right.
I still don't see all of the sides.
Right. I get it.
And so most people are afraid.
Right.
And when you start utilizing people for trust versus vision, it's very different.
Yeah.
Because you can call me as a consultant. I'm like, hey man, here's the tricks. Yeah. Here's the problems. Yeah. Here's what's going on. I don't need to be on the court or on the thing or at your business, but I'm like, hey, here's the pitfalls.
Yeah.
These 3 things.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden you're like, oh, step back.
Yeah, yeah.
Last thing, sorry. There's a movie.
Right.
42, have you seen it?
Yeah, yeah. Definitely.
Where Jackie Robinson meets the reporter.
Right.
And he's like, he asked him a question.
Yeah.
And then 10 seconds later, in the question he says, hey, here's a question. Yeah. Well, how are you going to know what these reporters say? My job is to feed you the ball before. Right. Then he walks 2 feet and the reporter asks him the same questions.
Right.
He looks over his shoulder and he's like, I'm going to duck. Yeah. Like he was already prepared for the question.
Right.
And most people think business or life or friendship or anything happens. And some people don't have the luxury of family.
Right.
But you are built to have friends. And so when you start dodging and removing yourself from interception. Right. You've got to know the fundamentals and make sure that you have people around you that will tell you to play. Yeah, yeah. I love that. And, unfortunately, there is individuals that don't necessarily have those people that tell them to play or identify those people that they can put in their circle to tell them to play and what that look like. And I think with where we are now, with even a lot of different individuals that want to do more, actually, I'm going to stick a pin in that for a minute. Okay. Because one of the things is, like right now, there's a lot of people that's moving in this world, but is not moving in their purpose. No. And it almost seemed like the mass is not moving in their purpose. And it's just a percentage. Yes. You think that will ever change? No. Man. I just don't. Yeah. I'm really biblical, so for me, it's not offending. It's just this is what I think. Yeah. There's a story in the Bible, and people may or may not know it. Right. But Moses is a guy that delivers people from Israel, and we always say that, and we see it, and we say in the commercials, and they go through the Red Sea. Yeah. When Moses goes up, the people become different. Right. And when the leader comes back in, they change. They try to fall back in line, and they walk around for 40 years. Yeah. And I was thinking about this the other day because I'm like, okay, business, mass people. Yeah. We're mass people. Right. So everybody loves college sports. Right. And you wear a jersey with somebody else's name on it. Right. If I have kids, I'm never letting anybody wear the Curry jersey. Right. Why am I going to let someone else represent another man that I'm leading? Right. I'm not saying bad. I'm just saying like, okay. So for me, going back to the premise is like the mass is going to follow. Right. And we will always look for the hero. Yeah. Because we keep watching things like Superman. Right. And Avengers. Yeah. And we just do, right? It just keeps and we've created spaces where the elite will fit and the masses can watch. Right. Roman Empire did the same thing. Yeah, they did. Yeah. So it cascades. Right. And so for me, my job is to create the strongest leaders. Right. And the strongest business people. Right. One of our sayings at like church and what I do when I'm pastoring, which is very different. People like you pastor them like I do, but it's like our leadership structure is we build generals, not soldiers. Beautiful. Because soldiers will go die for stupid reasons. Oh yeah. I'm not saying anything against anybody. My friends are soldiers.
Right.
But my friends are like, bro, that's the stupidest reason the government gave us to go die. Bro, it's not like, and they're like, we're dying for stupid reasons.
Yeah.
I've lost friends in the war. Like
you guys are going the wrong way. We know.
Yeah, bro. Like they're like my friend the other day was like, yo, this is not the Alamo.
Yeah.
And like they were just like, and I'm not saying that soldiers are stupid. They're amazing. I have friends that are amazing, but like they're like, look, I need to be the general of my life.
Right.
And so there's a place sometimes where we as soldiers just take what everybody says because they're the hierarchy instead of going, hey, what do you think?
Right.
What are we seeing?
Yeah.
For me, it's God. What is my faith saying?
Right.
And what is my intellect saying? What have you given me to run?
Right.
And I'm not going to go that way.
Right.
Kanye, who I'm one way or the other, right?
Yeah.
He asked a question, which I thought was the best question ever. He's like, so if one person's running down the road the wrong way in short shorts and a tank top with running shoes on,
right,
you think he's crazy.
Right.
But if 300 people do it, it's called a marathon. Like, you know what I mean?
He's on, hey, that's huge right there.
And it's like, are you going to be the first one to do what you do?
Yeah.
And not just take orders.
Right.
And go, I'm leading.
Yeah.
And if you guys want to come in the right direction, cool.
Right.
I think the worst saying is a leader isn't a leader if nobody's following him. I think that is ridiculous for me to say.
Yeah.
Because you're not a leader because nobody's following you until people start to follow you. Because the thing that you're about to do, Elon Musk, is crazy.
Yeah.
Like you're going to drive a car and it's going to drive by itself. Yeah, I saw it in the Back to the Future movie, but like what are we? And so I think we will always have people that follow.
Right.
Because nobody wants to fail.
Right.
And I want to fail.
Yeah.
Please, give me a challenge.
You have to accept the changes when they come.
Yes.
You know, and I think that the mass, and you know, it's unfortunate because I think, you know, the newer generation feel like they're gonna come and change a lot of the pattern that the Gen X, the millennial, you know,
they're not,
and they're not trying to go back further, but it's. And I tell people this before, and some people were saying I was being offensive when I said it. And I said, we're like sheeps.
We are.
But
I was about to say that, and I just didn't say it. Thank God you said it. We call them the sheeple.
Yeah.
The sheeple.
Yeah.
Hey, like, I have 2 phones. You have 2 phones?
Yeah.
Bro, this is people, bro.
Yeah.
All right, so on Instagram, I follow.
Yeah.
On Facebook, I follow. And YouTube, I follow. And on everything else, I follow. And this is all I do all day, I follow.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, bro.
Yeah.
You have the biggest tool in your life.
Right.
And all you do is follow other people.
Yeah.
Your whole life is this, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, one more scroll.
Yeah.
One more person. Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I should do what they're doing.
Right. Not by doing this.
All right. I just call it traffic jam.
Yeah.
And I know, honestly, like we have a course. I want to talk to you about this after, but like grid is like, yo.
Yeah.
What do you want me to do?
Right.
If you ask me what you want me to do,
right,
you're a follower.
Definitely.
And if you ask me how to do it, that's different. What do you want me to do and how do I do it?
Right.
Very different questions. But sorry, I don't want to cut you off. You said people are sheep.
It's good. It's good because, we're moving into like for me, I treat grown-ups very respectfully.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
And when this is how I am. Like, there's a path that I'm on, I'm executing. There's a specific thing I'm executing. And I'm like, okay, listen, I have a demand. This demand, I need this to come in and execute this. And so you're going to look at me and say, hey, I can execute that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is what that looks like.
Yes.
I'm going to give you what all that looks like. Now, for me, it's you now.
Yes.
Run with it.
Yes, sir.
A lot of times I don't get that because they're still waiting more. It's like my kids.
Yes.
Like I tell my boys now because, they're older now.
Yes, sir.
18, 16. And I said, you guys are getting older. I shouldn't get up every day and tell you guys to do something that you're supposed to do when you get up. Make the bed, pick up after yourself. Don't leave all these stuff in the room. Like, these are little things that I'm every time. And this, for me, is like, okay, I'm going to not tell you guys to do this, and I'm going to go a week, and let me see what I look like. is a pile of garbage. Come on, bruh.
I want you to like me after this, but right, like so. For 18 years, they were told what to do.
Right.
How to do it.
Right.
Don't go outside of dad.
Right.
And if I do, there's going to be consequences.
Right.
School, same thing.
Yeah.
I just didn't care.
Right.
Like, I had a very hard. Me and my dad were not, as much as I love them and I talk about them, I honor them. Me and my dad did not get along well.
Wow.
But I was like, I'm going to do what I want to do.
Yes.
And so I think we've bred people that follow instructions.
Right.
Instead of teaching them how to build their own instructions.
Right, right.
And so, like, if I work with people's kids. Yeah. And, like, they're like, well, you're 15 and they're lazy. And I'm like, no, I just put so much pressure on them, back to pressure. Right. That, yo, here's the reward. If you have no gas in your car, you can't drive. Right. This is a reward system. Yeah. And so I agree. Like, I'm like, do you have common sense? Right, right. And I'm like, common sense isn't common until I make it common. Yes. And so I am now learning, even in our business, even in our clients, even our partners, right? Like, and we're like high dollar partners. Yeah. Like when you come to talk to us, like I'm going to give you $100,000 idea. Beautiful. I'm going to do that. Yeah. But like constantly people are like, what do I do next? Yeah. I was like, what? Yeah. What do you mean? What do I do next? They're like, well, Surrey tells me to go. So-and-so tells me to go. And I'm like, I'm not trying to be, I'm like, okay, what do you mean? Yeah. Okay, so here's how we do. It's not that I think you're stupid. Right. It's not that I think that at all. You're intelligent. You're brilliant. Yeah. But as I walk through things, it's execution. Yes. We don't teach execution. Right. So we have people who are stuck. Right. Because education goes, hey, I'm going to give you all the answers. I'm going to teach you. Yeah. Then I'm going to put you in a desk, give you a pen or a pencil or a computer, and then I'm going to grade your test to see if it's right or not. Right. And then I'm going to tell you if you can pass or not. Right. Yeah. And I'm like, you've created this. You limit them. Yeah. And so for me, like one of our taglines is like taking you beyond your limits into like you're limitless. Yeah. Or like our ability to push you is, okay, what do you have in you? What do you want to do? Right. Like, okay, how do we scope that? Yeah. What do you think's the best process for this? Right. Here's my check-in. Every day you got to check in with me on what you did. Right. Like, and do you mind? I don't know your sons. I don't know that whole format. Yeah. But I'm like, hey, here's what the goals are. Right. I need you to come check in with me and tell you what you did. Yeah. Because they're accustomed to when dad gets upset, that's when my trigger happens. Right, right. Like I promise, it's gonna like that thing of like, I don't know them, I haven't heard, but I'm like, oh, here's the level. So when a mom yells at a kid 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, elevation, they have built an elevation in their voice that's like, when the boss comes in and everybody's like, da-da-da, we'll play, we'll do whatever until the boss comes. Right. They have built the expectation that when the boss is here, work matters. Right. And I'm like, your whole company's a problem. Yeah. Because you have not set in the boundaries beforehand. It's not hard. It's just like, hey, you win. Yeah. And so I think those processes, even with myself. Yeah. Like I have to wake up. Like this morning, I'm like up at 6 and I'm like, here's what I have to do. And I set like an alarm and I set an alarm and I set an alarm because I like accomplishment. Beautiful. Beautiful. I love that, man. Now, you know, because we're in the last segment of the show right now. And a lot of people hearing a lot of these gems. Because we're hitting you guys and you guys are welcome. You can donate. Just kidding. There you go. But, you know, they hear you talk about one of the programs that you do. Yes. But talk to them a little bit about the company. Like when you know, the company now with how you help coach and steer and okay, so like. We just shifted a little bit. So there's a couple things. Mm-hmm. There's Grid, which we built. So Grid is how we live. Right. Grid, I built longitude and latitude. Okay. Everything is built on a grid. Yeah. So when I looked at my life, I wasn't being successful. Right. And so people get really stirred up about, I have a business, I have a company. I'm like, well, you don't have anything. Right. You have an idea. Yeah. And I was like, well, how do I grow? Right. And I'm like, without growth, I'll go back. So Grid is a part of a company. Yeah. Grid is a part of our whole, everything I do in life is now on Grid. Right. When I start a company, when I help somebody else, when I help my own life, my relationships are built on Grid. Right. So there's 4 elements of that: growth, resource, impact, and deploying. Yeah. And so this part of the company, any framework, our web design company, like, are we growing? What resources do we have?
Right.
Are we impacting people or are we not? Are we impacting ourselves?
Right.
Are we growing an impact? Are we shifting?
Right.
And then the deployment is after we've understood what our impact is going to be.
Okay.
So in growing, you can have growth and impact and no resources.
Right.
So, hey, I have a big, great idea and I'm growing because I went to all these conferences and I have all of this impact because I know people, but I have no resources to give them. I have no money.
Wow. Yeah.
And then I can have resources and deployment and no impact.
Right.
So I've got this amazing resource, but I don't know how to sell it. I don't know how to present it. I don't know how to deploy it. I just know how to put it out there. So I put it online and here's where we're at.
Yeah.
Right. And then I think I'm breaking things, but,
Yeah.
so that part helps businesses, areas. And so we have a couple places where we just did a foundational course, like it's 10 courses to talk. And people are like, well, how do I learn it? I'm like, Mr. Miyagi, Karate Kid.
Yeah.
Learning about yourself in foundational business will change the rest of it.
Yes.
And so from when we go into grid, we have foundations like, here's who you are, here's how we function, here's how we grow, here's how we lean in.
Right.
Some of my clients are multi-million-dollar companies.
Right.
They just don't know how to present it.
Right. Right.
So like, I'm like, oh, this cup is amazing and this is what we're doing. And so grid's like, okay, what do you have? I have a cup. How many of these do you want to sell?
Right.
I want to sell 1,000. Okay. What's the price point? What do you want to do? Where's it at?
Yeah.
What's your resource? Well, we have cups. What do cups hold?
Right.
Great. Now, who's it going to impact?
Right.
Well, this is a mug. So it's going to impact people that want to do hot and cold and.
Yeah.
Great. And so I have to figure that out.
Right.
And then from there, my impact goes to deployment. How do we deploy that in your life? Okay, I have a family. How are my family growing?
Right.
How are my kids growing?
Right.
What are our resources?
Right.
I've got computers, I've got cell phones, I've got a house, I've got a garage. I can convert my garage into a business.
Right.
And now I'm going to teach my kids XYZ. I can pay them $13,000 a year.
Yeah.
That's going to go in an escrow account. By the time you're 18, we're going to give you $100,000, but you can't spend it. We've got to invest it.
Right.
So now you have resource.
Right.
Now what are you going to do to impact that?
Yeah.
From 16 to 18, you have 2 years to figure out the next business that you want to do as a family.
Right.
And everybody's going to pour in $25,000.
Right.
So now I've got $100,000 on a bracket. We want to make $1 million a year for the family. That means $250,000 for mom, dad, son.
Right.
Right. So now how are we going to deploy that? You're a social media guy.
Right.
You're going to do X and you're going to do X and you're like, and now we're deploying and I want you to hire your friends.
I love that.
So those are the places where we do that. If it's somebody who just needs, hey, I'm a mom.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to do this. I'm like, well, how many kids do you have?
Right.
Well, I've raised 3 kids by myself. Yeah. Okay. So you have a single mom channel?
Yeah.
So you have growth because you raise kids.
Right.
You have resource because you have intelligence.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now we need to package it so you can impact.
Wow.
And now we need to deploy it and not go Etsy. Like if you want to go do Etsy, go do Etsy.
Right.
But you have a specific niche.
Yes. Yes.
Like part 2, and then I'll be done.
Wow.
This is what grid does.
Yeah.
But then it goes like this, and it goes all the way apart. And so you're like, okay, I'm growing. Where am I on the measure? And then I'm like, okay, my resources, where do they fall in?
Right.
And like a child, when you put them up to the wall, you can now measure your success and your growth and go dips.
Wow.
And that's why analytics are so important, even in your life.
Yeah.
Did I grow? Did I read a book? Did I do this? Did I audio book?
Yeah.
And so as we're growing, even in the schools, it helps the teachers.
Right.
We don't grade on a curve. We
Right.
grade on 100.
Yeah.
Like we don't shift it because you had a bad day.
Right.
This is a bad day and this is what a bad day looked like.
Right.
So how do we pull up?
Yeah.
And so that's the places where we go with that.
Oh, I love that. I love
So
that.
that's the grid method. And so what we do with grid is we do online courses, which they're great, but I love being in this place that we call like the room.
Right.
And so the room is people sign up and I coach them
Okay.
and they do group coaching on high level group coaching.
Okay.
So we answer questions. We call it hot seats.
Yeah.
Where you have, hey, how do I build my podcast? How many measures? And we kind of go through the areas that need to help.
Right.
And then we have 1-to-1 calls where those are people that want to invest in their future,
Right.
in their business, in their ministry, in their church.
Yeah.
Restaurants are always hard because you're trying to get people 1-to-1.
Right.
But if you're doing 1-to-many, which is, hey, I have a group course and I want to sell 1,000 of those and I want to make $100,000 a year. So you have to have 1,000 people at $100 to make $100,000 a year.
Right. Right. Yep.
And so that's the numbers. It's probably about $80,000.
Right.
But if you write it off, all those tax structures come back to positive 80.
You get there. I know you guys want more, but listen.
Sorry. This is my passion because I feel like people have resources.
Right.
And they don't know how to make money.
Right.
Because they feel like savings accounts make money.
Yeah.
And they don't know that currency means like current. It has to move.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't move, it dies.
Yes.
And if it doesn't move or make X, then they don't really grow. And so that's the company that we're developing on the side. And so we have that and Roar, which is really our anointed reality.
Okay.
So we're acronym based.
Okay.
But it's really about taking people from where they are,
yeah,
knowing what their spectrum is and going, okay, let's make this not just dollar amount, but like health, wealth, and then like mental. Wow. Like we just have a mental camp where we take 10 people once a month. It's not expensive. Well, it's decent, but we take them and we go to Airbnb for 3 days. Wow. And if you are not built to lead, it's not for you. Wow. If you're not built to grow, if you're not built to put it on the table, ideas stay there. Everybody signs an NDA. Nobody can take your ideas. Like it's a level that's like, but this is a think tank.
Yo, that's dope.
So
that is dope right there. Your favorite song? What is your favorite song?
Right now, it's a simple one, but it's like I'm writing music right now, so it's a problem. My favorite song is "I Love You, Lord," but it's really simple. Yeah, and it's just because of what God's done in my life.
Beautiful.
Because of what Jesus died for me for, and the things that I believe.
Right.
Sometimes the most simple things express the most deep emotions for me. Yeah. And I'm like, hey, God, I love you. And I'm thankful because my mom passed away from cancer. My sister died at 38. Right. Like I've lost people in the last, my assistant had a stroke like last week. Wow. And I'm like, man, thank you for loving me. Yeah. Yeah. And that's what, I know it's not a deep thing, but I'm like, it's not like we are the world or why, but it's really like, man, I get to talk to God. That's beautiful. And I get to love him because he loves me. So
I love it. Chicken, fish, steak. Which one? Ooh.
Steak medium, filet. Yeah. I'm very particular. So I like my particularities are like, where? Longhorn all day long.
That's it. Wow.
I'm like, what about you?
Beautiful. You know, man, right now they got me on the fish and chicken.
Oh, what kind of fish?
So salmon. Okay. But one is because I have a defibrillator. I died. Okay. I died in 2016. So I have a whole...
Man, you got a better story than me. Can we switch chairs? I'll just interview you. What in the world? Yo, he came back to life.
Yes, sir. This is wild, man. But, you know, we're really grateful that you came on the show today.
Thank you
for listeners that... and, you know, the watchers, where can they find you? If they want to connect with you, plug in, hire you, what does that look like?
So Brent Taylor Live, we have 2 websites. One is Brent Taylor Live, so B as in boy, BrentTaylorLive.com. Okay. And then we just built a new one that's Brent Taylor Co. for like the leadership and the company side and growing and helping you grow. And so we are literally formulating that just a little bit more.
Beautiful.
So that's easier. Okay. We weren't going to do it because we've been literally like, if you know me and you call me, it was that kind of thing. Like, we're going to get involved. But like we've had this immense amount of people go, hey, are there courses? Right. How do I'll sit in a room. And so you can find us there at BrentTaylorLive.com, which is music and preaching and teaching. Right. And then the other side is like faith-based, practical growth ministry. Hey, I want to do this, but also business and leadership. Like, because we're such an absence of leaders. And we just have, like you said, sheep. That person led. Let me do it. Jesus is Lord. No. You have to have your own DNA. So if you want to find your own DNA, you want to go through that, you want to sign up for a Zoom call, I think we have an introductory rate for like $97 where we do a series of things where it's like, hey, once a month. Right. And then we have like tiered coaching. Right. To coach with me, it's a different level. Yeah. Because like I said, like I turned somebody, I think we did change their life and they made like $300,000 like and now they have to do it. Right. I'm not doing it for you, but like here's the plan and the blueprint, and here's where we go.
That's beautiful. I know you guys want more. I'm gonna give you guys one more. So for individual that is in deep depression,
yes,
and this is to go, what would you tell them, man?
I just wrote like a book. Mm-hmm. Depression is a symptom, yes, not the reality. And so when people start treating depression, they're not treating the reality. Right. the psychostructure of who you are as a person, the psychosis and who like all those things, and you're feeling those things. It's number one, change your environment. You have to move.
Yes.
If you don't, you'll get a blood clot, which is depression, mental clot.
Right.
And so that then fills you, and then you become like, you can't move.
Right.
You can't do anything.
Yeah.
So everything that you want to go towards, you do the opposite.
Yeah.
So if you feel like listening to sad music, change the music. If you feel like talking, like, and then self-talk, like you don't feel great, but you have to talk great. And then last thing, there's a couple things more, but literally, I will do this, and I'd love to talk to you about it, but I want to be able to, I'm going to put that out, and I'm going to put out something for free on my BrentTaylor.co site about depression.
Right.
But it's not, it's the symptoms of what's going on. Counseling sometimes helps you, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes those things, so let those things go. Forgive yourself.
Yes.
And I went through depression, and realized depression is going to be there always. You just don't have to accept it.
Right.
You don't, like, I literally live in a car, not feeling good enough, not feeling educated enough, not knowing where money's going to come from. People broke up with me because I didn't have enough, or you're not this, and like, oh, you weren't at the light you were. Like, all of that hits you. But don't let that affect you. And so for me, last thing, for me, it's the Word of God.
Yes.
And I just read it today. I was like, God, what are we doing today? And he's like, hey, I got to open the Word. And even if you don't, I have friends that are atheists. And I'm like, hey, open the Word of God and just go to Psalms. And you'll see David. And he's a guy, and he just talks to himself. And he's like, look, God, if you can hear me, where are you at? And so for me, it's prayer, personally, worship, music, because it's different. And then just opening the Bible. And if you can't open it, go get this Bible app called YouVerse and just play it to yourself.
Wow. You guys are welcome. There you guys have it.
Sir, thank you. Honestly, so can I say this?
Definitely.
Thank you for having me.
Definitely.
Thank you for letting me be in your space. And thank you so much for letting me be in yours.
Yes.
I think people see people on TV and don't realize we're just people, or online, and you can do the things that you're created to do and called to do and have the ability to do. Again, my idea was I wasn't good enough, and I don't know enough, and I'm not going to make enough money. And that's where I thought I was. And it really was like, who did God create me to be? Versus what can I do and create? And those two parallels will help you in your depression. God created me to be better. God created me to be more, but he also created me to be satisfied.
Oh my goodness.
And whether you're struggling, last thing, depression. Get offline.
Yes.
Like, bro, like, stop scrolling, looking at other people's stuff.
Like,
don't look at bodies. Like, the scrolling. They just found like that kids have more mental issues because they're watching. And they're seeing other people, and they're pushing other people, and they're just over and over and over and over. And I think it's like 100,000 views of other people's stuff. So you're never going to be satisfied with what you have. So take a 3-day fast.
I love that.
That's it.
I love that.
I'm done.
There you guys have it. Oh my goodness. This is beautiful, man. Listen, until our next episode where we have another decorative guest right here, dropping gems for you guys right here in EOS Club. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes,
I appreciate you.
Yeah, man.
I really do.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in and downloading this episode of Stories to Create. We appreciate you being part of this growing community of storytellers and listeners. If today's conversation inspired you, please share the show with friends, family, or anyone who could use a little motivation in their journey. A special thank you to our sponsors, EHAS Organization, Cornell Bunting LLC, and Nostril Cheese Chase for supporting the mission and making this podcast possible. To learn more about our work, upcoming projects, and how you can get involved, be sure to visit www.hissincord and www.cornellbunting.com. Until next time, keep creating, keep growing, and remember, your story has power.